day. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, this is the NFL on EA Sports. Minnesota Vikings taking on Matt Ryan and the Indianapolis Colts.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out onto the field comes the Colts offense for their first series, and at quarterback, a new name this year to the franchise, of course, but certainly not new to the league. A 15-year vet, former league MVP, Matt Ryan.
And when you start with listing a guy's accomplishments like Matt Ryan's, all these years in the league, near the top of the league in completions and percentage, touchdowns each and every year, has won an MVP, taken his team to the Super Bowl. You're talking about a guy who might be finished, but he still has gas left in the tank. Big right arm, great leader, the face of his franchise.
Leading rusher in 2021, Jonathan Taylor. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Second down, another run with Taylor. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Now Ryan finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he is going to have a Colts first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Ryan. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
On first down, Ryan. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. That right there is the inauspicious start that they were hoping to avoid, a turnover on the first possession.
I love how you use those college-bound words like that, inauspicious. Well done. I really appreciate that. But here's the thing for me. I'm just wondering if their game plan is incorrect. You know, I think they felt like they could come in and throw it around pretty well. That interception early, they may rethink how they go about attacking.
The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a 4th-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing is Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
On play action, Cousins out to his left. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
From the 27, Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They run the counter with Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Again, it's Cook. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Here's Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. We're scoreless after 1. and the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Ryan on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Ryan. Pass incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Ryan. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
So on 4th down, Matt Hawk on to punt for Indy. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Throw left side, complete. That's Cook. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Well, right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on second down. Cousins looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 44-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So that challenge, a successful one. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll throw again. Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Cousins now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins again. Cook makes the catch on the out route. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. It's Dalvin Cook there with a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Osborne. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Cousins to throw it. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Viking Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now Cousins. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack. And it's never going to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Made his first. This now from 42 yards out. Joseph's got it, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. He's going to float this over the middle deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
This is our time.
And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Play action now. Cousins. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vikings. K.J. Osborne, 53 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. Cousins will try and throw, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football. I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game,
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, as trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
and the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Now it's Ryan. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart, because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with, because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and it's 3rd down and 2.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Play fake, Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Cook. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Cousins now from the 50. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He finds his man, complete. It's Osborne. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal coming up as he's out of bounds right around the 5-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Again, it's Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Throwing, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. T.J. Hockenson from a yard out. And the Vikings have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. To throw is Ryan. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Ryan. His throw incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again is Ryan. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
They go play action with Ryan. That's going to be caught by Allie Cox. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 10 more there and another first down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Ryan. And he'll just get rid of it.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing again, Ryan. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Here's Ryan to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Here's Ryan. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Ryan looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. Now Ryan. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. McLaughlin for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and the result for the Colts is a touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even but one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now out comes Minnesota. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Here's Cook again. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And here's Ryan Wright now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now it's Ryan. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, that's to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.